In Adriel, you have the ability to set up user permissions for anybody that's invited to your workspace. So to start, where you'd go is to Settings, which is the second to last icon in the left-hand nav bar. And once you reach Settings, you'll see this space here where it says Workspace. And you have Members List, Edit Workspace, Invite a Member. This is where you're selecting the specific workspace that you're working in. So if you're invited to more than one workspace, you'd be able to switch and navigate from here, as well as in the bottom right-hand corner. Now to invite members to this specific workspace, as you can see, there's quite a few spaces to do that. One is here in the bottom right-hand corner. The other is here where you access the members list or edit workspace. And here, we'll just invite a member. So you have two options when you're inviting members. One is you can create a team. So for this team, for example, let's say you had your internal performance team and you wanted them to have a specific level of permission. You would name that team. You'd enter the specific email addresses associated with that, and then you would assign the specific roles accordingly. For this example, we're just going to invite one single person to collaborate in this workspace with us. So I'm going to add in my colleague, Peter. And there's 3 different levels of permissions that I can assign Peter to have. One is admin. Admin privileges means that he has full access to this workspace where he can also assign roles and invite new people, as well as have view and edit access to all of the dashboards and any folders that we create together. Now there's also view and edit. View and edit is exactly as it sounds, where anybody who's invited to the workspace with view and edit access would have the ability to create new views, create new dashboards, edit existing dashboards, but they wouldn't have admin privileges to invite new members and adjust user permissions. Now, view only, again, is exactly as it sounds. Any user with view only access would only be allowed to view the specific dashboards that have been created in Adriel. Now, this is very different from a dashboard that you might share with a potential client or an external resource that you don't necessarily want access to the direct platform itself. And we'll talk about that a few modules later in sharing reports. So once you've invited a few team members, you can start collaborating within your workspace. So I'm going to go ahead and send this invitation to Peter. And I'll walk through a couple other places within the platform itself that you do have the ability to modify some user permissions. One is on the connections page. Now, once you reach the connections page, you'll see that connections have been made, and on the right-hand side, there's a settings icon on every single connection. Here, you can adjust who has access to view the data and utilize this data source in their reporting. So you have full controllability as an admin to add members to specific data sources or remove members from those data sources. Now, another space you can do this is heading over to our dashboard. On your folder settings, if you hover over the folder and select these 3 dots and go to settings, you actually have the ability to edit the people that are in this particular folder. So that means anybody that you invite to the workspace, you'd be able to select the specific team members that have access to the workspace to have access to that particular folder. That way, if there's any specific folders that have internal information that you don't necessarily want vendors to see, or you have different uses internally for how you're managing your dashboards, and you have some manager dashboards that you only want managers to see, and some performance dashboards that you don't mind everybody seeing, that's how you would adjust those permissions. So this is a great space to collaborate with your team members, but also have the ability to adjust member settings depending on what level of permission that they need access to.